Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Turin here with another Warhammer Total War live battlecast. In this particular game, we are going to play the Dwarves, led by High King THORGRIM, and we are going to play the Napoleon Dawi, as you guys have asked. So it's a tricky build for sure, but we'll see if we can make it work. So we're going to have our firing line of Thunderers. God, it's just such a risky build. And then we're going to have 2 cannons. So what that does to you ultimately is it forces you to just play with a ton of Dwarf Warriors and relatively low tier infantry, but that's okay. I think we can make it work. And the army's coming together pretty quick here. Thankfully, I kind of pre-mapped the build in my head and was able to kind of articulate it there. So we're going to allow this group for the Dragonback Slayers. Where are they? We need a little bit more money, so we got to pinch pennies where we can. Forge Fire is decent. We need all those ruins. Darn, guys. Maybe we'll just get a regular group of Slayers. That should be fine. And then on top of that, we're just going to chevron out some of these guys and just hopefully we can spend that before the match starts. Yeah. A little haggard, but whatever. It's fine. So we have front line of Dwarf Warriors. We have the Dragonback Slayers. We have the Grumbling Guard to help with armor piercing. But, you know, the people who are going to need to get the armor piercing done are essentially my cannons and my Napoleonic line. Although in retrospect, I should have looked at the map. I kind of just got excited about doing this build. And, man, this is going to be really rough because I know there's a lot of trees and terrain here. Oh, man. So I'm definitely regretting this decision. This is like the worst map for the Napoleon build. You need to have those like big open fields. Here it's okay though. We'll do our best, guys. We're gonna actually deploy like up here on this hill and see if we can get like a decent angle on our opponent. And you know, at the very least, he probably won't have cannons himself. So we're gonna put these guys here, looking down into the valley, so at least if he comes through the trees, you know, we will have something going on here. We're gonna put the Master Engineer here. We're gonna put the Dwarf Warriors. We can put them actually like, we probably want to use 3 in the front line. So let's actually just like set up our formation over here, which should be fine. We're gonna put THORGRIM here, and we're gonna put the Runesmith here, which is pretty good. We're gonna put these guys in the back for their aura. You wanna make sure to keep them near your big infantry corps. So this is gonna be our main kind of formation here, which can essentially advance on its own. We're not gonna keep it with, we're gonna keep the Slayers back to guard the cannons. And oh yeah, this was the other thing I wanted to do in this particular build. So the Napoleonic line is gonna be in the front here. We're gonna keep them like so. We're gonna hot group those guys in. And man, I really regret not looking at this map. This is just making me so sad. This particular build, oh god. So we're gonna put these guys, keep the Master Engineer right here, have him be on guard duty as well. I mean, he's a pretty good melee combatant, so you know he can do his thing. We're also gonna put some Dwarf Warriors over here just to help out with Cav, because it's definitely gonna be a lot going on here. So, all right, guys, I think we're feeling good. We might actually deploy in the forest here and just kind of push out from there. So let's go ahead and start. We have the cannon, so hopefully like there's some sort of line of sight, but these darn trees, they just give him so much cover. Oh man, that makes me so sad. You guys don't even know how bummed I am. So we're gonna shoot at these Demogryph Knights, and we're gonna just kind of advance like right here. So we want to keep them relatively hidden, and then as his army advances, we'll move our firing lines out and you know, do our thing from there. So that's actually a nice little pocket though. If we can get some cheap pot shots and put those Demogryph Knights down, that would be really nice. Oh, that was a nice one. Look at the HP damage on those guys. Their leadership tanking to 33 instantly for a second there. So we get some nice shots before they disappear into the shadows. So these cannons here, we can go ahead and switch on this Grey Wizard actually, which is interesting. I've actually been seeing it a little bit more. So we'll push out here, and you know, at the very least, we're gonna, you know, surprise our opponent with the freaking big firing line in the front. We do have the Slayers back here. We want to move them up behind the cannons, put these Dwarves right here, just kind of blocking in that direction, and just move our firing line here. So his Lord is taking a bit of firing damage, which is nice. He's simply just gonna retreat through the trees though, which is, you know, the worst case scenario is that like, you know, he just, you know, gets to these trees before I can really position myself. So we're actually just going to stay like right here, which is probably fine. He's going to probably try and sneak those demis around, so we're just going to put these guys here, put these guys here. We can move this guy up just a little bit because I want to be able to use him to skirmish with his Lord. And it looks like his forces are advancing slowly but surely. He has mortars, which is interesting. I wouldn't recommend it as a pick, but you know, again, it's making me eat my words. It's punishing my Thunders, doing some decent damage, and we'll see how he wants to advance here. I don't mind just shooting at his Lord for now, even if it's through the trees. You know, any HP damage. Although the Grey Wizard's probably a little bit squishier and would go down quicker, but it is what it is, guys. Let's actually go ahead and advance maybe here and just put them like on the edge of the tree line. Because is he even advancing anymore? He is. Okay, so I just need to be patient then. I get a little antsy. I'm not used to playing these type of builds. I usually play very aggressive. So we're just going to keep those cannons firing. Oh my god, do you see the damage those Demogryph Knights took? That's brutal. So we're going to start shooting at the Zentler's Reichsguard here, and even though they, you know, will be coming through the tree line, look at those things. They have 7 models left. So that's such a good situation, man. So the Slayers, we're just going to kind of pull here, and let's see if we get some shots there. And it looks like, did we make some contact? We did. So definitely can't complain. My opponent's continuing to march here, so I'm just going to have to eat this mortar fire, relatively speaking, which is fine. We're going to pull the runesmith over here so we can use the Rune of Wrath and Rune here. The cannons are just going to keep shooting in. I mean, they're doing okay damage. I mean, we can shoot at the Lord for now until those cav re-emerge from the other side of the tree line. So let's actually see if we can just like pop those Demogryph Knights real quick. And I do have the Slayers here, so I'm feeling pretty darn safe. So we'll put one here and one here. My guns are now shooting into his infantry line, which is pretty solid. So the Napoleon build is in full effect, guys. We got High King Thorgrim here leading the troops. High King Napoleon doing his thing, and the Slayers are here. So, I mean, I do have these Dwarf Warriors also. So I don't think he has any cav coming from this direction. So we're going to be okay here. So the Thunderers are shooting in there, doing a pretty good job. So we're actually going to start pulling this group back as he gets a little bit closer. Looks like he has mostly a cheap army. So we're going to just get our Thunder firing line. Pull them back for now, just pull them back here. We'll get these Slayers engaged here, and these Dwarf Warriors on the flank engaged with those Demogryph Knights. We're also going to get this guy and start shooting here. We're going to use the Ballistics Calibration here, and we're also going to get the Runesmith. And do we want to use it? Probably on the Zentler's Reichsguard would be pretty nice, but I don't think you saw the Slayers hiding in the trees. So our firing line's coming back here. We're just going to position them here and just shoot these cav down as they try and run. So the infantry battle is going to be a little tricky. I mean, he has mostly spears, which is fine. So let's go ahead and initiate that. That's going to be fine. And get these Dwarf Warriors going here and here. Does he have any armored troops? It looks like he has some swordsmen here and different troops. So he went with more of a cheap infantry corps. So we want to get these guys kind of in this general direction here. And these Thunderers, we can actually posture this group right here and have them shoot. So these two groups should be able to gun down most of his cav, I think. So it looks like they are shaken, so we're just going to pull here, pull these guys here, get these cannons shooting over at some of his missile units, although he's pretty well hidden here, so maybe we'll just shoot at this Jade Wizard here. That would actually be a decent pick. So he does get a charge in there, but he's going to take the gunfire from these guys, which is, pretty bad for him. The Runesmith, we probably want to get him in the front line here. Have these Thunders shoot up at this Lord. We'll get High King Thorgrim here. Just make sure he's nearby for that melee attack, which is very, very important. So you can see the Napoleonic Dwarves were able to slay these guys pretty aggressively, and we're actually just going to shoot at his General of the Empire now. Keep these Dwarf Warriors in auxiliary. Move here, and I don't think we want to... Oh, it looks like he used Pit of Shades, which is pretty cool. So we're going to get these guys in here. We're also going to get the Grumbling Guard and have them go after these Greatswords. So High King Thorgrim, but you can see his Lord is taking a ton of firing damage from those Thunderers, which is pretty solid. So we're going to reposition them back here, reposition these guys back here. Now that the cav threat is done with, we can probably pull these Dwarf Warriors, to be honest. I think most of his troops are done for in that respect. The Jade Wizard is dying from the missile fire, which is pretty good. We're repositioning our Thunders. This one group is actually point blanking his General of the Empire, so we're going to use this, get these guys focusing his General of the Empire, and let's actually pull Thorgrim back a little bit and just allow these guys to shoot this guy right in the face. So we're going to turn right here, start shooting as well. It looks like he's going to be able to run though, so let's actually just switch them onto these Greatswords here. We'll get these other two groups shooting down here, and this Master Engineer, though I don't want to do this, he'll be able to tie up these Halberdiers for quite some time. So we're going to pull these guys. These Slayers are still chasing the cav, so a little bit of a mistake there. Cannon line's pretty happy up here. Let's go ahead and shoot at that General of the Empire, and you guys will be surprised at how long he can hold this line here. So my guys are actually getting some decent shots in here, and they're doing well. So let's go ahead and use the buffs here and use this flaming sword, not flaming sword of ruin. So used to playing chaos, I can't even remember the names of things. So we're gonna get our Napoleon Dawi line and have them just shoot this guy out of the skies. He's gonna go down so hard, guys. You guys ready for this? And I got the cannons firing on him in the true fashion, and we're just firing him down. Look at him go. Oh my goodness, I hope we can kill him here. That would be very, very rewarding. So High King Thorgrim and the lads are doing pretty good, and down he goes. So the Napoleonic Dwarves doing their thing. Let's reposition them right here. We got High King Thorgrim. This guy is actually holding them down pretty well. So let's use the Ballistics Calibration, which will affect these guys here. We got the Dwarf Warriors to protect the flank. We got the Slayers coming back from their adventures, and the two cannons, we probably just want to shoot at this Grey Wizard right now and just kind of rout them off. So we're going to shoot right here and just have these guys shoot in at this Grey Wizard if possible. We're just going to start collapsing the flank right now. We probably want to send these Dwarf Warriors up here, and it looks like that's actually all she wrote for our Empire opponent. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. It was a fun one for me. I haven't really used the Napoleonic Dwarf build in a long time, but it actually was good there. The two cannons, they punished those demis. Like literally, you guys saw they were down to 7 models after like 2 rounds. The Jade Wizard, did an okay job, but that firing line was brutal. They didn't get the most kills, but they did a ton of HP damage to really important targets. The Dwarf Warriors held with the leadership of the High King Thorgrim. So all around, pretty happy with the build. And as far as my opponent's army goes, these crossbowmen, they had some issues. I don't think they were able to get good line of sight. I think that was a big part of it. I mean, I don't know how you get 0 kills, but I think they were shooting into the Dwarf Warriors and into their own infantry corps, and it was just a little bit sloppy there. And also the Grey Wizard, not a big fan of him in this build. The Pit of Shades probably is, especially against low-tier Dwarf infantry who are very resilient against magic. I see it's fun to try, but at the end of the day, I don't think it was a worthwhile investment. Also, the mortar, not the best pick, but it is what it is. Well played to my opponent, Nigrups. I look forward to seeing you again on ladder, and I hope you guys enjoyed that Dawi Napoleon cast. Have an excellent night, and take care.